Vaccines are required if you are headed off to war.
But a frightening number of U.S. servicemen and women are having severe reactions. KCRA3's Tom Duhane takes a look at the mystery surrounding so-called secret shots being given to U.S. servicemen and women.
It's difficult right now.
At a time when young men and women are dying on the battlefield.
We live in a very volatile time in the military.
Some believe there's an enemy here at home.
And no one wants to look bad.
It's not a shot from a gun.
This is the worst cover-up in the history of the military.
But a shot from a syringe that may be leaving some U.S. servicemen and women on the brink of death.
When the issue, I believe, of the use of the vaccine comes out, I believe that it'll make the Walter Reed scandal pale in comparison.
It's an exhausting 3-day-a-week routine for 20-year-old Lance Corporal David Fay. His kidneys are failing, his military career is over, and he feels like his country has abandoned him.
I can't look at my old pictures. I really can't. I start looking at my old pictures and I start crying.
A passion for sports and a sense of patriotism prompted Fay to join the Marines on his 18th birthday.
And I looked at every branch, but I wanted the Marine Corps because the Marine Corps was the few of the proud.
From boot camp to combat training, it was the happiest time of his life.
It was great. I loved every minute of it.
But a single shot in the arm forever changed his life. On November 28th of 2005, Fay's unit lined up for what he says was an undisclosed shot.
They asked us our name. We stood on these yellow footprints, and they gave us a shot. Then we got the rest of the day off. After that shot, I started swelling up. I gained 30 pounds of water in my eyes. Swelled up where I couldn't see. I started snoring. I developed a rash on my hand.
3 weeks later, Private Fay was on his deathbed, his kidneys failing, his body so swollen it left stretch marks.
I used to just pray to God, please, take him tonight.
As her son appeared to be dying, Cindy Fay began poring over his military medical records in search of answers.
The shot was never listed in his records.
The Defense Department says all service member vaccinations are documented in the individual's permanent medical record. But Fay's medical records reveal no shot on that day.
My son is a Marine, a PFC David Fay.
In a desperate attempt to save her dying son, Sydney said she called the U.S. Marine base at 29 Palms in San Bernardino County to find out what kind of vaccine her son was given.
She says, ma'am, that's confidential. I can't tell you what the shot was. And I'm like, well, my son's in ICU and he might not make it right now. I said, I really need to know. And she says, well, we can't tell you.
11 months later, Fay's medical records were mysteriously changed with a handwritten notation indicating the mystery shot was a flu vaccine.
We have a lovely term for that. We call it CYA. That's unfortunately an SOP in the military.
David is one of a growing number of U.S. servicemen and women getting sick after receiving vaccines. This highly praised Department of Defense medical officer is mortified. He doesn't want to be identified for fear of retribution.
I see the way propaganda and information war is waged against America's sons and daughters, and how patients are treated who claim to be ill from a vaccine. That's troubling. That should trouble America.
The Department of Defense maintains that the vaccines are safe and effective, but those are hollow words to Fay.
I'm in bed every single minute of the day. I can't eat because I throw up. I have no energy. I've been laying in bed, bedridden for so long.
4 months after that interview, Fay has lost 60 pounds from dialysis, but he is determined to rebuild his body and his life. Still waiting for a kidney transplant, still waiting for an answer from the military.
My biggest wish? Just to get up and be without pain. I mean, just to get up every day and just be happy again.
Tom Duhane, KCRA3 reports.
Even after everything David Fay has been through, he still longs to be part of the U.S. Marines.